Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining our Design for Surface webinar today. I'm so excited. We have a lot of special guests that will be joining us very shortly to talk about the program, talk about what it entails, and which of our SKUs are part of this program and what that means for you. Before we get started, I do want to go over just a couple of quick housekeeping items. We are raffling off a 27-inch Design for Surface monitor. So stick around till the end of the webinar. And if you're our lucky winner, we will reach out to you via email at the end of the webinar. So make sure you stay till the end. And then secondly, Q&A. So we do want to make sure we get your questions and address them throughout the webinar. Please use the Q&A function within Teams so that we can make sure that we monitor it and that we address them. Awesome. And then I believe we're just going to kick it off with a quick video, and then we'll get started here. Awesome. So that was just a quick video of a high-level overview of some of our SKUs that are part of this Design for Surface program. I'm really excited to start diving in and talking about it because these are our first ever Design for Surface certified monitors in part of the program. So with that being said, I'm going to invite a very special guest from Design for Surface herself. Her name is Carly. Hey, Carly.
Hey, Mina, super happy to be here today. I'm a Design for Surface PM, and what that means is I work with amazing partners like Mina and the ViewSonic team to figure out what concepts are needed. How can we support our end customers and channel users and ensure that we are developing extensible solutions for Surface. So super excited to be here today.
Thank you. We really appreciate your time and coming and joining us on our webinar for our audience today. My first question is, what is the program and what does it mean to be Designed for Surface? Can you walk us through that?
Yeah, totally. So Design for Surface was born out of the need for accessories that you could really trust, that you knew would be able to support your needs and be highly resilient and enhance your productivity. So DfS, which is kind of a shortened term for Design for Surface, we partner with industry-leading third-party businesses like ViewSonic to deliver strategic solutions that unlock surface sales. And what that means is we're extending into specific, particularly commercial verticals that allow a user to bring their device anywhere they might need to and use it in the way that best fits them and their productive workflow. So we're really making sure to bridge the gap when Surface compatible solutions are needed, but maybe don't yet exist for those unique industry challenges.
To me. Awesome. Thanks for that high-level overview. I mean, just curious, so ViewSonic, we are part of this Design for Surface program. And so, how are these monitors special? Like, how do they become part of this program? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, 100%. So when we think about like what makes ViewSonic so special, we've not brought monitors into the portfolio before working with the ViewSonic team. We have 3 monitors that we've certified into the portfolio, and we're super excited about what feature opportunities there might be. ViewSonic really has an incredible industry-leading perspective. The partnership that we've had with them has really highlighted the adaptability that the ViewSonic team has and their ability to really address changing customer needs. And we're in a market right now that is changing faster than we've ever seen before. So with that in mind, ViewSonic was awarded the Design for Surface Partner of the Year award a few years back. They've continued to be a vital partner to this program. And we're super excited about the breadth of monitor solutions that ViewSonic does offer and figuring out what the future path is to continue to expand in our portfolio and really enhancing what customers have available to them.
Y- Yeah, thank you for that, Carly. And, I can't agree with you more than ever. Like, just this workspace, the hybrid workspace, and just the typical office workspace, as well as for the professional worker, like it's constantly evolving, the demands and the needs. And so, ViewSonic is all about creating that real world collaboration in that corporate business environment. And so, really great to hear that we're working very closely with the Design for Surface team and making sure we're meeting those needs for that end user. You kind of touched upon this earlier, and so I wanted to ask about the verticals or different types of industries. What types of organizations are really best suited to adopt design for surface accessories?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to just move a slide forward there. So when we think about the types of customers that we are addressing, it's pretty wide. Design for Surface works with both consumers and commercial audiences. The majority of our market really is commercially focused. And that means that we are partnering with a variety of internal partners across go-to-market, um, research, commercial strategy, engineering, and more in order to develop concepts for um, manufacturing, healthcare, the public sector, retail, energy, education, financial services, like the list goes on. Um, and in addition to the monitors that we have in our portfolio, we're offering solutions like protective cases or screen protectors, privacy screen stocks, the vital parts and pieces of an information worker setup, which is, one of the core audiences that ViewSonic is working alongside.
Thank you for that. You really covered like a lot of the diverse industries that ViewSonic is also helping to really meet the needs for. And so it sounds like there's a lot of accessories and a lot of other products part of this program, but the overall goal is very similar to what we're trying to do together. And so I love that. Thank you for highlighting that. And our audience today on this webinar, we have end users, we also have resellers and channel partners. So I was just curious if you had like what kind of support or resources are available for them when we're talking about these design for surface accessories.
Yeah, absolutely. Highlighting the slide that I'm showing here, we have a variety of resources that are available, but I want to highlight before we dig into those, the Design for Surface team is here for you. If you have questions, if you have support needs, if you have questions about pricing or a product concept that you're not seeing on our portfolio, um, this is something we want to hear more about and we want to talk with you about. So you can reach us at dfs@microsoft.com. This is a monitored mailbox managed by myself and my team. Mina will provide these links out at the end of the presentation. But in addition to that, we have some awesome resources available on our Surface Reseller Alliance page, or SRA. This is available to our external channel partners and resellers, and we have pitch decks, solution plays, and a variety of content that will support any discussions that you are having about the larger DFS portfolio. So we'd love to hear about the wins that you have. Please don't hesitate to reach out. And that's kind of all the good stuff we've got for you there.
Thank you for that, Carly. We will definitely share that out as well as the recording to this webinar, all those links that she mentioned that houses those decks, those solution plays, so that you could really get up to speed about the program, how to pitch it to your customers. And it sounds like, Carly and her team manages that email address directly. So any questions or feedback is always appreciated. Thank you, Carly. And then I kind of just want to like end it with this last question for you, just about like a case study, or if you have a great example where you saw the design for surface products and accessories really improve productivity for an end user or for a customer, if you have any stories there.
Yeah, absolutely. So taking a look at this next slide here, we've got a variety of industry verticals that we are focusing on. And with that in mind, the DFS portfolio is going to have a variety of use cases available to our end users, and that could vary from a ruggedized case used in a manufacturing setting or for a frontline worker, maybe in a healthcare setting, needing antimicrobial wipe down on a case that they're using. It could also be showing up in the accessibility space, having a low vision supportive device. So it can really range quite widely what types of use cases are available in the DFS portfolio, and that is what makes it so exciting to be a part of this program and learn more about all of the different solutions that our customers need and the breadth there is there. When we think about ViewSonic and what ViewSonic has to offer, particularly in the lens of Surface, I think they do an awesome job of supporting information workers, creatives, or even executive users. So when we think about that, we have three monitors in our portfolio today. We've got the ViewSonic 24-inch and 27-inch USB-C monitors. These are really great for bulk or bundled purchases, particularly in an office setting with an information worker in mind. This really creates an awesome one-stop shop for the user to tailor their workflow, ensure that their device is charged, that they're managing audio and video, and you only have to deal with one cable. That's huge. In addition to that, we've got the ViewSonic Color Pro 4K option, and this is one that I'm really excited about. I think it's a really unique offering, and that's where ViewSonic really shines, is just their ability to provide options to their customers that other competitors don't have the ability to really conceptualize in the same way. So when we think about that Color Pro 4K, this is a great fit for executive office settings or creative users thinking like developer audiences, photographers, videographers. These are folks that really require detailed visual workflows, and that Pantone color match really makes this an exciting offering. So that's a couple of use cases that I've got for you, Mina.
Thank you, Carly, for that. And you just did that perfect segue transition. I'm going to hand it over very soon to our ViewSonic Senior Product Manager for our monitor lines. And thank you, Carly. You did a great job of kind of giving us an overview of our three SKUs that are part of this program. Like you mentioned, they've been tested, they've been validated by you and your team, and they are part of the Design for Surface program. So with that, I'm going to bring Jenny on the line. Hi, Jenny.
Hi, Mina.
How's it going? I was wondering if you could just do a quick intro of yourself to our audience.
Yeah, definitely. So my name is Jenny. I am the Senior Product Manager for our monitor category. And I had the pleasure of working with Design for Surface at the onset of our partnership. So working on selecting and validating our three monitors into the program that would really be best suited for the use cases that both ViewSonic and Surface are targeting for our end users and customers.
Awesome. And I see your setup right here in our Brea headquarter office in our VXC room. And so, yeah, can you introduce to us the monitors that you have in front of you?
Yeah, definitely. So this monitor right here is our VG275. This is the 27-inch monitor that we are actually raffling off. And we have two of these monitors in the program. We have this 27-inch, as well as we have a 24-inch version available, just depending on what you're looking for a target size. We see especially the 24-inch does really well for dual monitor setups. The 27-inch is also great for dual monitor setups or works well as a standalone with that little bit of extra screen space that you get for the larger screen size. And then as Carly mentioned, we also have a 4K monitor in the program, our VP275 4K, which is one of our Color Pro monitors. So what that means is this is a monitor that's really targeted for color accuracy. It has a wider color gamut and is really feature rich in its design and in its panel. That higher resolution gives really crisp visuals, really clear graphics. So that's where we see it targeting well to marketing creatives for that graphic design, photography, video editing, as well as, since it is so feature rich, pairing well for executive deployments and for their desks where you're going to just really want those clear, crisp graphics that you're going to get with having a higher resolution screen.
Awesome. Thank you for that introduction. And I think the one that you have in front of you, that's the one we're raffling off. Is that correct?
Yes, correct. Yep, this is our VG275. So this is our 27-inch monitor.
Awesome. Yeah, you know, Carly kind of mentioned this earlier about that whole single cable USB-C setup. Can you ask, I know that's the VG275 that you have in front of you, that's part of that. So, how does that help reduce desk clutter, or how does it improve for that everyday office worker?
Yeah, that's a great question, Mina. So we really specifically targeted all of our design for service monitors to have USB-C. And the benefit of that is you get that single cable connectivity to USB-C compatible Surface devices. And so with that, USB-C is going to pass through data, audio, video, as well as power. All three of these monitors have 60 watts of power delivery. And so that means that they are able to charge most Surface devices. No additional power cable is needed in your setup. So you can just come in with your Surface laptop or tablet, plug it directly into the monitor via USB-C, and you're set up and ready to go. No additional cables needed. And with that, you don't have to have additional cables connecting from your device to your monitor. All of these monitors have USB-A ports, so you're able to directly plug in things like keyboard and mouse into your monitor. And that again makes it so you can just basically plug and play from your Surface device to the single cable USB-C. You don't have to also be plugging in your different accessories. But they also pair well if you want to use a docking station like the Surface Dock or a Design for Surface dock. In the setup, especially for multi-monitor setups, you can plug multiple monitors into your docking station and then plug that directly into your Surface device.
I love that. I mean, I think that's my favorite feature about it, the charging, so that you don't have to, carry or lull your charger around and make sure that it's plugged in again. And of course, the data, you talked about video, audio transfer. And it sounds like these monitors also integrate with docking stations with other Surface accessories as well. So that just sounds very easy and seamless to use, and really enhancing that workplace productivity and that flow. Curious, can you walk us through like a typical enterprise deployment? Because I know that especially for enterprise organizations, they are rolling out hundreds of these at a time, right? It's not usually just for, a few. So, and can you kind of walk us through that and how ViewSonic makes sure that we have a very smooth rollout?
Yeah, definitely. And these VG monitors, the one that we have in 24-inch and 27-inch, are specifically designed for those enterprise use cases and for larger scale deployments. In addition to just the features of the monitors that we've talked about, we've really designed everything to optimize and enhance large scale deployments and rollouts so that we can cut down time that's needed for like IT and facilities to set these up, which is going to add to cost savings in the longer run. So I can walk you through that with this specific monitor here, starting with just what we see on the outside. So all of our VG monitors come in eco-friendly packaging. With that, we're trying to reduce plastics and styrofoams for things like green initiatives. So companies don't have a lot of waste as they're rolling out larger scale monitors deployments. All of our DfS monitors have the Microsoft logo on the front to show that they are part of this program and have gone through that testing and validation with the Design for Surface team. And then how we've designed the monitors, both in the packaging and setup, help to facilitate a quick and easy deployment. So for example, in this monitor, we take it, and this is what we call our pizza box style design. So it just opens up and flips open, and right at the top we have all the components necessary that we need for our stand. Again, we have tried to reduce all plastics and styrofoams for a more eco-friendly footprint. And what you have in this is you have our base for our monitor, as well as you have the neck for the monitor just right there on top, along with the cables that are needed for connectivity. We have a USB-C cable, so you can use that to directly connect to your Surface device. And then it's a toolless design, so you don't need any additional like screwdriver or screws to set up. You're just going to take the base and you take the stand, it clicks in, and then you've got a finger screw on the bottom that you're just going to turn to connect the base and to the stand. Takes just a few seconds to get that connected. Again, no tools necessary, and then you've got your stand fully set up. Then you're able to remove this top layer of the box, and on the bottom we have our monitor set up ready to go. The stand the box opens up and you're able to basically just click this stand into the monitor head. It's got a protective covering on it right now. It's got a handle so that you can pull it up ready to go. And that's in, a minute, less than that, 30 seconds. You basically have your monitor set up and ready to go. All of our monitors, since they are designed for B2B usage, they all have a full ergonomic stand. So that is height adjust, pivot, swivel, and tilt. So they can be used for a variety of use cases, as well as provide optimal ergonomics so that you are comfortable in your workspace setup.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Jenny. And I love the pizza box design because I know ViewSonic, we really pride in that because it's showing how we're very thoughtful in our design process. We care about making it ergonomic and very seamless for your deployment. And then on top of that, sustainability. That's something that we're really trying to strive for and practice here at ViewSonic, making sure that we're hitting our goals for the green initiatives. So really appreciate you kind of walking us through that process, and you're able to do it very seamlessly. So thank you for that, Jenny. I am going to bring Jenny and Carly back on towards the end for our Q&A, but I do want to bring our last, but still very special guest. He's on our enterprise regional team, and his name is Steven. Hi, Steven.
Hi, Mina. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, as you said, I'm part of the enterprise team here at ViewSonic. I'm based out of Salt Lake City, and I cover part of our Western region. So happy to join.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. And, I said you are our last but special guest because I think you could provide a lot of great insight here because you work very directly with the Microsoft team as well as your end users, customers, and resellers. So I kind of wanted to see if you could share about your experience with the Microsoft team and kind of talk about the partnership here a little bit. Yeah,
absolutely. I think a lot of what I have to say will echo the sentiments of Carly and Jenny. It's, working with the Microsoft team from my perspective has been an extremely positive experience. I mean, it's felt like since we launched this partnership, it's been more than just your typical or common, manufacturer vendor relationship where maybe there's just been where someone obtains a certification or there's been some joint marketing effort. It really genuinely feels like a true partnership. I mean, and I say that because of how we've been able to align closely on a lot of our shared goals, especially those of digital transformation, like Carly articulated so well. And that's what helps us deliver on the more complete and future ready solutions to our mutual customers. Tactically on a day-to-day level, I've been able to collaborate really closely with the Microsoft field teams. And that interaction, I think, has come in some different shapes and forms. Like we've had joint sales calls for partnering opportunities. We've done account syncs and planning. What's important to call out is that we're both involved early in the sales process. So we've been able to share a lot of insights in how our mutual product offerings pair together and are able to enhance the overall experience in these enterprise settings. So, to summarize real quickly, the question that you asked, I think there's just been a very strong level of communication between our teams, and it helps us stay in sync on all of our customer priorities and present that unified message to the market. So it's just been a really great experience working with the Microsoft team.
Awesome. And like the whole time while you were talking, I just kept thinking customer first. And, Microsoft Designed for Surface, as well as ViewSonic, we are committed to customer success ultimately and feedback and making sure that we're meeting the needs of the customer. So thank you for that. I mean, have you seen any wins together with Microsoft that you could share with us?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a lot of good wins, since launching this program. And one that specifically stands out in my mind is probably one of our larger scale deployments that we kicked off about, I think it was about this time last year. The deal overall was I think it was north of 11,000 Surface laptops that were paired with our USB hub monitors. And it wasn't just a big order. It was a very strategic project that entailed, a 20-month rollout that required really, really close collaboration and coordination and a lot of moving parts. So I would do a disservice if I didn't say that there were multiple stakeholders that were involved. I mean, it wasn't just Microsoft and ViewSonic, like Carly mentioned. We have a strong channel that we work with, and so we really leaned into our channel partners as well during this project, and our reseller and distribution partners were key to making everything happen with regards to the project. I mean, they handled all of the staging and the inventory management so that everything was delivered and deployed smoothly across all of the customers' locations. But all in all, I mean, because of the tight working relationship between all of the stakeholders, us and Microsoft included, we were able to come in with a very highly competitive pricing agreement. And, that was what we learned at the end of the day, that it was better than some of the direct offers from competitors. And it ended up being a huge differentiator in securing the win together. But I'll say what really made the difference is that we were all jointly kind of lockstep together from the very beginning through the discovery and the planning phases of this project. And that helped the customer just feel confident that they were going to get a fully integrated solution from two very trusted partners. And so it was just a team effort all the way through, a really fun project to be a part of, and a really big win at the end of the day for all the parties that were involved.
Thank you. I mean, it sounded like, especially for that specific project, there was just so many layers, like you said, right? It's not just ViewSonic and Microsoft, it's all the resellers, all the channel partners in between. So just really working closely together and making sure that during that 20-month rollout that everything went smoothly. Sounded like a big but fun project, like you said. My last question for you, like you kind of touched upon this towards the end, but that support structure, what can the end user or the customer expect from ViewSonic from pre-sale all the way to post-sale? What can we provide?
Yeah, that's a really great question. I'm glad you asked it, because I think that highlights kind of the support structure that we've built here at ViewSonic and gets us kind of granular into the details of what sets us apart. I mean, in my role as a regional business manager, and really the role of my whole team, it's to be hands-on throughout the entire life cycle of a deployment. So, we have team members, and we've built our team out to be purposefully and very strategically located across the country. And so, we're able to offer that localized support to both our end user customers, but also our reseller partners. And I think it's, so if it's helping the customer figure out which solution or which size monitor fits best for their needs, or setting up pilot programs, sending out demo units, or providing kind of that training, troubleshooting during the project, we're there kind of every step of the way. I mean, my team specifically has dedicated engineering and support resources that are the boots on the ground assistance for our clients. And I think that articulates very specifically how we understand the complexity of these enterprise rollouts to be. I mean, we know there's lots of moving parts, like I've said, and there could be tight deadlines. But we try to work as close as we can with our channel partners, with IT departments, with procurement teams, to ensure that just everything runs smoothly from early planning all the way through the post-sale support. And so, every single day, we're putting together pricing agreements. We're coordinating with our project management team, like Jenny that you've heard of, to maintain inventory levels and to make sure that the timing makes sense, and that every detail is accounted for with these project timelines the way that it should be. So I also want to just take a moment to say that something else that really sets us apart as a company and addresses this question is that ViewSonic, we're US based, and our headquarters and our support teams are located in California. So, we're able to move really quickly, stay responsive. And, I'll also state, selfishly, I think speaking to our culture, we're a very proud minority-owned business, and I think that diversity is really reflected in how we build our relationships and how we support our partners across all of the different industries that we're a part of. So, at the end of the day, when somebody chooses to work with us, they're not just buying a monitor or buying a display. They're really just getting a strategic partner who's fully invested in their success from start to finish. So hope that answers your question.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I was nodding here the entire time because I could definitely testify. I work very closely with Steven's team on the enterprise side, and all of them, all 8 of them, really are hustling hard, like Steven said, in making sure that pricing agreements are being met, or if there's any tight deadlines that the end user is looking for, they are really working hard to make sure and staying very close to the customer. And can't agree with you more. I mean, we are US based, our customer support, our tech support, our field solution support. So this is across all of our solutions, not just monitors. We are there for you, and we have we really pride ourselves in that fast turnaround time. And we also have our warehouse here in Chino, California. So, we are always like thinking about inventory as well. So with that, I'm actually going to bring up everybody back on the line, Carly, Jenny, and Steven, and we'll go into Q&A. I did see a couple of questions dropping in. So I think this one we could address it to Jenny. Is there any reason why I can't use the display with the brand other than Surface, e.g. Lenovo, that uses a 60-watt power source?
Yeah, that's a good question. So these monitors are going to be compatible with other devices. They also have other ports like HDMI and DisplayPort for additional connectivity. But really the benefit we're going to see with these monitors and being part of the Design for Surface program is being able to use them within the Design for Surface ecosystem. So using them with additional accessories, and they already have that validation and compatibility confirmed through the testing that Carly and her team have done.
Awesome, thank you. And then another question here, is it possible to use a pair of these displays for a dual monitor setup?
Yep, that's a great question, and something that we definitely target these monitors for, especially the 24-inch is perfect for a dual monitor setup. If you're going to want to have multiple monitors, that's where you're going to want to incorporate either a Surface dock or a Design for Surface docking station into your setup. You'll plug those monitors directly into that docking station, and then that docking station will connect directly to your Surface device.
Great, thank you, Jenny. And then this is more about the partnership. One of the questions is like, how do you see the ViewSonic Microsoft partnership evolving in the next year?
Sure, we're working very closely with the Design for Surface team with Carly to ensure that all of our monitors are going to be compatible and fully functional with new devices that Surface is launching. And then we're also continuing to look at additional monitors that could potentially join the program to continue to explore the use cases and demands of the audience and end users to make sure that they have an optimal monitor and Surface setup.
Great, thank you. And I think I could ask this to Carly. Just, someone's asking what accessories are recommended to optimize the setup.
Yeah, when we think about kind of the foremost use case with the ViewSonic monitors, it's typically an information worker setup. So someone who is working from a desk most of their day, but they may be transitioning from working in an office space to traveling back to their home or needing to make a trip elsewhere for business. So that's where we can provide a variety of options that would pair really nicely with the ViewSonic monitor. One of our partners, Cable Matters, offers a USB-C to DisplayPort cable that's up to 6 feet long. They have a variety of other cabled systems if that's needed. In addition, we've got our Surface Arc mouse that is ergonomically designed, which I know that ViewSonic's monitors are also ergonomic, so that's a great fit as well. And then a variety of accessories from our partner Kensington, which includes a laptop riser as well as a stand for a pro device. And this brings these devices up to eye level, particularly when you're working in a multi-monitor setup. So lots of great options to choose from there. If you're curious about all of the portfolio for Design for Surface, you can absolutely visit the DfS website at designforsurface.com.
Thank you, Carly. And then our last question here, maybe Stephen or Jenny can answer. What kind of warranty or support is included with these monitors?
I can answer that. So all of our monitors come with a 3-year warranty. And as Stephen mentioned earlier, our service teams are located here in California. So any questions or further information that you have and need, you can chat directly to our teams via our ViewSonic.com website.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everyone. I think that was all the questions we got. We will be sending this out as a recording link, as well as all the resources that Carly mentioned earlier in an email to all the registrants here. And then last but not least, we are raffling off that 27-inch that Jenny is standing in front of right now. So we'll make sure to reach out to you via email if you are our lucky winner. We thank everyone for joining. If you have any questions about the Design for Surface program or anything about the ViewSonic and Microsoft partnership, please feel free to reach out to us, and hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you, everyone.